Hey guys, so I am in my car and this is day one after my last video, which was all about how there's a trend on YouTube where you can just be yourself. So this is day one. If you want to go back and check out the last video that I posted yesterday, it was called AI hooks versus authenticity. And what I've seen online, specifically on YouTube, is more and more people jumping on this platform because we can connect with our audience and be more authentic and not worry about editing and being perfect and whatever. I've got my sweats on. I'm literally in a library parking lot and I'm going to sit down and do some work and make some phone calls before I go in because it's got to be really quiet in there. But I just saw another video that echoed what I said in my last video, which is that because of all the overly perfectionistic things we're seeing that are kind of sanitized and over edited, and maybe they're scripted or templated or automated somehow because of AI. Again, I'm a fan of AI, but it's like using it the right way. We don't want to whitewash everything and eliminate the human aspects of our connection. So we want to just connect and be ourselves. I'm sitting here thinking about this other person that I saw who basically was, her first name is Ciana, Ciana, and she's a beautiful woman. Never ever followed her before. Her post was about being monetized after like 10 years of being on YouTube, and basically what she decided was that she's going to post every single day for a certain number of days. She finally wanted to get monetized. She has more followers than I do, but the way that the algorithm works and the way that the rules work is you have to have a certain number of watch hours within a 365-day period. And you could have more followers, but if you're not consistent and not getting eyeballs on your work, you could easily not reach the threshold that you need to become monetized. So she was tired of it. She decided she was going to become monetized. For her, similar to what I was saying in my other video, it was this perfection thing. As women, we feel like we have to wear makeup, we have to do our hair perfectly, we have to have on a cute outfit, we have to have our nails done. It's a significant barrier because most of us in our daily life, we roll out of bed, maybe put our hair in a ponytail or brush it. Maybe we put on some moisturizer, a little bit of color in our cheeks, or nothing at all. And on video, it might feel like it's not enough because there are certain standards. So she decided that she was going to get comfortable with being her true self on video. And I think that's pretty much the message that I am seeing. Like, that's working on YouTube. So if you've thought about having a YouTube channel to get a message out, to share something that you just feel like you want to share a message or talk about something that's really your passion, this is a really good time to do it because right now YouTube is favoring this sort of connection. So keeping it real, not a lot of editing, not the best equipment. You're just being yourself, in your everyday clothes and makeup, no makeup, whatever. And you have a message to share. This is a huge opportunity. So many people right now are struggling with what's happening in the world, maybe even living in fear about what's next, depending on what your political views are. This has been a really rough ride over the last few years, and there's just so much uncertainty and financial strain. People are not loving working in jobs where they don't have meaning, or they feel like they have to be in the office and have FaceTime instead of doing something that they're passionate about and being able to spend time with their family on their own terms, and really just craving more, so maybe it's the side hustle you want to build. Maybe you just want to start talking about something that's really a passion of yours. I know for me, that's how my first podcast started. I wanted to start talking about this hidden epidemic of verbal and emotional abuse and control. This was 10 years ago, and now it's super prevalent. There's so many channels talking about this topic and narcissistic abuse. And I started a second podcast, which was my situation, was being a mom entrepreneur, working for myself. How do I make this work with 2 little kids? How do I build a business? Thankfully, I was able to leverage my first podcast to launch the second one, which never became as big as The Audacious Life. And I think it's because my heart was really with the first audience. Even though I'm super interested in businesses and marketing and organic marketing specifically, like just being yourself and talking about something near and dear to your heart, my momentum and what people needed was the other thing, which is how do you get through or out of or beyond one of these narcissistic relationships? How do you co-parent with somebody in a narcissistic relationship? How do you heal? How do you recover your finances? How do you protect your children? How do you protect yourself? How do you avoid dating another person like that? And how do you spiritually grow and gain some strength and figure out who you are again, because maybe you were chipped away at in these relationships? And then I started to see there's this overlap, interestingly, between the people I was interviewing that were mom entrepreneurs who would hear about my other podcast. They're like, oh, that's my story. So this whole other layer would come out. I'd find out that at least 1/3 of the women I interviewed my first year on Audacious Mamas, their story about starting big brands, small businesses, something specific, most of them are very successful. 1/3 of them at least were coming out of either a bad marriage where there was abuse, a family situation where there was abuse, or an extremely toxic work environment where they were taken advantage of and had to recover. So I see a lot of overlap here between these audiences. And what I also noticed is that the women who stepped out of those situations and created something on their own that gave them purpose, gave them money, gave them an identity, a new, fresh identity, it helped them thrive. It helped them create security for themselves, independence for themselves, because they're earning their own money. They had a voice because they were creating a business that was a passion for them. And these women may not have been successful right out of the gate, but they kept on going and trying different things. The fact that they even bothered to try says a lot about where they were at mentally, and that they knew they were meant for more. And so that's why I've hopped on here today. I feel like there's so many women who have something beautiful to share, and it doesn't have to be this huge, impactful thing. It can just be something that helps people even in a small way, or gives them joy. Maybe it's a hobby that you're really good at and you want to help women with it. Maybe you know how to keep yourself stable and grounded amidst chaos. Maybe you know how to keep your house clean super fast so you don't waste any time. You're really good at cutting corners. I mean, there's so many things. Maybe you're good at consulting because you do it in your daily work and you're like, I'm doing it for this multi-million-dollar corporation, but what I really want to do is help small to medium-sized businesses and be a consultant to consultants, right? You could start a channel talking about what you've learned over the last 5, 10, 15, 20 years in your career. You don't have to tell anybody about it. You just jump on and start talking about patterns that you see online. You can take something from your everyday life, from your home, from your relationships, from your hobbies, from your corporate work, your nonprofit work, whatever it is you're doing. Maybe you found a way to tie together 3 different side hustles that you're super duper happy because you can pick and choose what you want every week, and it works because you have children or an ailing parent and you're able to take care of them. If you have something in your life that you feel successful at and people ask you about, maybe you want to share it with the world. Maybe you are going to become an expert in that thing. Share it. And you don't have to tell your family about it. You don't have to tell your friends. You just start the channel. And this is the thing. The more real you keep it, and just be consistent, it's going to be crazy how quickly it catches on and grows. And I can't promise that, but this is a pattern I've seen. I just saw other people posting very similar things to what I posted yesterday. Why not now? Why not find a way to figure out what you want to focus on, or throw spaghetti at the wall? Talk about something different every day. See what resonates with people who find you through YouTube's algorithm. It's going to push you out, and people are going to find you and comment. Sometimes they'll say good things, sometimes they might not. That comes with the territory, but you get stronger. You get stronger even when you have people who are saying not so nice things. I've been kind of super inconsistent dealing with major stuff in my life for the last 2.5 years. Right now, I'm in the middle of moving out of where I've lived, and it's a very quick situation. It's not the way I would normally plan it. I'm just trying to deal with it. I've got a kid who's back in the hospital right now. Got a lot going on, and I've decided that no matter what, I'm still going to show up. I'm not going to silence myself. I'm not going to disappear. Did I sit down and script it? No. I'm sweating. I'm in my hot car in New England and feeling like it doesn't matter. Like all the perfectionistic crap that keeps us from sharing things that are important to us, encouraging people down a specific path, it's got to stop. Like, we got to keep it real. And this is a little off topic, but I feel like a lot of things are coming to a head in our world. Things are surfacing. The stuff with children, exploitation, celebrities, politicians, all of this ugliness that's coming forward. I've had people reach out to me over the last more than a year wanting to be on the podcast to share their stories. And I want to share their stories. And you know who you are because you're probably listening right now. And it's like every time I get closer to being able to do an interview again with my schedule and my setup at home, it falls through. Some urgent thing happens, and my life feels like it's been a series of chaotic emergencies. And so I'm just learning to push through. And if I have to do interviews on Zoom in my car, maybe that's good enough. Maybe that's what I'm going to do. Because I really feel like these people need to be heard. They need to share their stories, whether it's being trafficked as a child and now they're adults, and they want to share how they got through that. They want to share what helped them to heal. They want to raise awareness for a topic that's heartbreaking, stomach-turning, but very real. Or maybe it's something that's happened in the family courts and corruption. Like, that is a recurring theme. I have people reaching out wanting to share their stories, and it's very prevalent. I would like to shine the spotlight on that and help guide people to make an impact and get some changes made in the court, in the state or country they live in. And you may have something like that too. What is it that you feel passionate about? Maybe you want to interview people. Maybe you want to do a little journalistic storytelling about what you've observed, and you want to pull in newspaper articles or clips. That's getting a little more complicated on YouTube, but you can certainly find a way to do that. Just start small. Start with like 3 minutes, 5 minutes, and go from there. So I'm going to cut myself off, but I'm going to try to be more consistent, and hopefully you guys will hold me to it. I'm just going to encourage you to go for it as well. Let me know how it goes. Are you seeing a difference? If you've been on YouTube, but you only have like 3 videos, or you started 5, 6, 7 years ago and you haven't been consistent and you're scared to put content out, but you want to revive your channel, just do it. That's why you saw this video. It's encouragement to do that. And if you just want to start a brand new one and you don't want to tell anybody about it, do that too. My friend's daughter just started her YouTube channel. She's doing some vlogging. I don't think she's told many people about it, but she's doing a beautiful job, and she's just using her camera and creativity and really basic editing. You don't even have to do that because vlogging requires a little more editing. You could just do this from anywhere. Encouraging you to find a voice, to find your thing. And this platform is amazing because unlike social media, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, all these other places, TikTok, this stuff on YouTube is pretty organically evergreen, meaning like if you just put the right keywords in and have a good message, you can get consistent views. Some of my highest viewed videos are videos I made like 6 years ago. And a lot of people say that. They're like, my highest viewed video is 8 years ago, and it's just the way it is. So it's not going to get lost in the mix. It's not going to get shoved down by the algorithm. Like some of these videos sit here for years and then suddenly just whoosh, take off. It does happen. So I just want to encourage you, if this is something that speaks to you, now is the time. Before this takes a turn in another direction, because these things have seasons, right? Jump on. Be you. Do you, boo. Don't worry about the makeup. Don't worry about all the other stuff. I'm in my car with my cell phone and this little holder. I don't even have a mic. Tell me, share your channel with me in the comments so I can support you, we can support you. Cheers. I'll see you next time.